Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles coming to ARK. Aranio winning TLC votes. And ARK Valguero Ascended to introduce a brand new boss. You're right, kids, it's Raasclark and welcome to your regular ARK community news. Before we begin, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, share around, and let's get into it. So Community Crunch 475 drops to us to ask if we shall get this party started, because it seems a new collaboration with an IP for, I'm guessing, custom cosmetics is on its way to ARK. Of course, you've only got to look at this image for 2 seconds to know Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is coming its way, making its way, with some very obvious visual clues such as a New York City sewer, Casey Jones hockey stick, a bit of turtle mutation liquid, turtle bandanas, and of course pizza, a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles favourite food. And making its way soon, with October mentioned within this artwork reveal. Not really much else offered on top of this apart from Wildcard mentioning to prepare for some righteous action in ARK. It seems the push to drive IP collaborations with the recent Power Rangers skins we got earlier in the year has succeeded well enough for Wildcard to reach out to other IPs for collaborations in ARK, and here we go with the next one. Turtles, obviously a big fan of Turtles, and it's great to see another stab at a childhood fan favourite cartoon series such as this. There was a real drive at the end there with that Power Rangers Part 2 part of the pack that then got bundled with the first pack to try and drive sales even more. To get me thinking, are they selling enough to hopefully open up the door to more soon? But it's happened, it's happening, and Turtles is coming. I'm definitely looking forward to checking these ones out. I love Turtles, I used to love Turtles as a kid. There's a picture of me somewhere on Twitter if you can find it, as me as a kid, holding a Leonardo action figurine. That's how much of a fan I was. That door is now officially open to any IPs, I guess. If we're going to see that one, what more could we see in the future? And it's all going to be down to sales once again with this, I guess, to prove it can be done and open it out to more. Fortnite is now officially a part of ARK. But it does beg a wonder what's going to happen to the unofficial Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle mods or skins that have been in ARK for quite a long duration. They were originally in ARK Survival Evolved, where we hosted a cool event with them, and there's one readily available for you to download now. So what's going to happen with these when this arrives? Is there going to be a bit of a conflict of interest there? Who knows? What I'm kind of hoping for, though, and perhaps this is a bit of a pipe dream considering how niche it is, are we going to see the tech bunker being able to be transformed into a sort of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles sewer drain system for you to go inside to your tech bunker? I love as well that we just made a base that was a sewer as well. How about that? And then after a bunch of stuff where it was notified for the first time in quite a long time, over at least a year, ARKpocalypse servers are going to have a strictly, completely vanilla playthrough this time around. No modded ARKpocalypse, which I know is going to definitely be met to somewhat of a mixed response. There's a lot of people out there that enjoy the modded experience, but there's also a lot of ARKpocalypse players out there that don't, so good for you. We got a few new mod spotlights, including this advanced weapon premium, which I'm going to bring up because we actually had a good dabble with this in its freemium version like a year ago, where me and my bro use these to defend against hordes and hordes of zombies and then reapers and so on and so forth in a very edited format. If you want to go and check out that to see how these guns perform, go check out that video. Pluggity plug, I know, terrible plug. But moving on, turns out the Extra Life TLC donations, where you're of course donating to the charity run events that Studio Wildcard run every year as a great cause for kids, but this time around returning creatures to be TLC'd as donated by you depending on the amount that you donate. Well, I've got to say that the top 10 that are currently ranked are pretty well rounded so far, maybe bar 1 or 2 caveats, but it's really great to see Aranio in the #1 position. It's great to see you agreeing with me on one creature that certainly needs some TLC above everything else, right? Nobody tames this thing, uses this thing for anything in ARK, and with Wildcard confining the requirements to be a saddled creature or a shoulder pet, there's a limited amount of creatures that you're going to be voting for TLCs, especially when you can't vote any of the creatures that have already been TLC'd. And Aranio is definitely one you don't use, and there's some great ideas out there that could be cool to see given to this one. Wall climbing, bowlering, something like that. Kraken's Better Dinos did a great job of showing some cool new skills abilities with this back in ASE. I would love to see some of those ideas hopefully influenced into this one if it's going to remain in the top 1 spot. And then no surprise, in at number 2 is the Giga. I mean, it was going to happen. Wildcard know it's happening. You talk about it enough. I'm not surprised to see this. I kind of feel like there's other creatures that deserve it more. And, well, there we go. There really is literally one there that is deserving more so because it's above the Giga right now. But I get why a lot of people want to see this one improved. And you know what? I'm down for it as well. I think it does deserve some TLC. It's a really old model. It needs a bit of love. Definitely people are preferring the car over the Giga nowadays. Maybe there needs to be some refinement work there too. Happy to see that in at number 2. But Thylat at number 3, a really surprising entry. I think the Thylat is already a bit of a monster. It's a really good looking creature. It can Superman fly jump around maps at lightning quick speeds. Did you forget about that? No. Apparently, I've been advised that somebody donated a wealthy amount to get the Thylat in up at 3rd place. That's what I've heard, and that's why it's possibly sitting there. But I'd love to hear if I'm probably wrong about this, and if you in the chat, you viewers out there, are actually hoping for the Thylat to get through as that TLC'd creature. I feel like it's pretty good as it is, right? And then the following creatures, Bronto, Megalo, Quetzal, all 3 of those, yep, can definitely see some TLC deserved to all 3 of those creatures. I know the Megalo can be a monstrous thing at night, but in the daytime is completely useless. Definitely needs maybe a bit of a touch up there to make it worthwhile to tame for the day. Bronto most definitely needs something. Quetzal most definitely needs something more reason to tame those creatures. Carno, yeah, I agree with that one too. That was in our list as something I felt like needed some work. Again, looking at the Paleo Carnos and that sprint mode that Carnos do, I think that would be great to see implemented into ARK-based game. Megalania, another one as well, fully agree. And one creature I never mentioned within the giant 2-hour-long video, 1.5-hour long video where we went through everything and ranked everything to what we thought was useless versus what you still use today, is the Titano. How could I forget about that one? Definitely a creature that needs a bit more love. It's not something you ever bother to tame anymore. It's just not worth the effort, is it? Back in the day, when it first came to ARK, most definitely, that thing was a monster. If you approached your base when it was auto turrets and stone bases, yeah, it was a thing to be feared, without a doubt. But nowadays, in PvP, I know this is obviously PvPers that are more worried about this than ever, how this one might be TLC'd, or maybe they're not, because any decent base on PvP nowadays is fully equipped for a Titano and knows it's just not worth the effort to tame one. It's too squishy a creature. It's a monstrous thing to tame and attain, and it definitely needs a bit of love. It's also got some issues visually with it. We found out quite recently last night. It's got some bucktooth problems. I don't know whether that was because a cannon shot it in the teeth. Maybe that was. But I agree, Titano is possibly one I would like to see some TLC on too. And then followed by the Ankylo, surprisingly. I don't know, I kind of like that there. The Ankylo as is, but you voted for it. It's there in at number 10, but it is early days. This is the very first week, I believe, as we get closer to game day, which is November the 8th, the official game day, where a bunch of different games companies all over the world will be doing their bit to raise money for it. I imagine Wildcard will be doing their bit to at least try and push it, as well as, of course, all the creators under Studio Wildcard raising for the cause themselves too. We could see a giant shift during that day. If you've forgotten, every 30,000 raised up to 120,000, there'll be that many creatures TLC'd. So whatever is in at number 1, currently the Uranio, and let's say 30 grand has been raised and 30 grand only, that will be the only creature that is TLC'd. Though, I don't know, I get a feeling post this, Wildcard will probably TLC some other creatures. Maybe we'll even see some TLC to creatures that can't be ridden, that weren't eligible for this, and that's why they weren't entered into this. I'm just hoping that's the case anyway. And then hello Valguero dropping at the end of the month. There's been a lot of rumors, speculation on whether we'll see a brand new unique boss to this one, considering that Ragnarok had its own unique boss too. Bit of a shame, RIP to the center that didn't get that treatment. But with Nakatas behind the wheel, and of course seeing that, I did get a good feeling we were going to see one. Obviously, Nakatas has been mum's the word thus far. NDA is not going to share anything with us. Maybe he's just not allowed to. But somebody who is allowed to is, of course, the wildcard boss of Wildcard and ARK. Mr. Jeremy Stieglitz roll on down with the latest tweet letting us know that, yeah, Valguero is definitely confirmed to be dropping on June the 30th, maybe back in time or a typo. Of course, a typo. He definitely meant the end of this month will be arriving with the Elder Claw, and it's very much on schedule to drop on both PC, Xbox and PlayStation. And hello, are you ready for Valguero's new boss? So it's happening, something new, unique to this new version of Valguero on ARK Ascended. No more triplets of bosses, no more. Originally, if you didn't know, there used to be the Dragon, Brood and the Pithecus all in one arena at once, which was a bit of a win or a loss depending on which way you played it. To be fair, it was a great way to farm bosses with all three of them being there. But no, this time around there's going to be a brand new unique boss, and I'm welcomed to see it, something fresh that's going to be, I guess, given the Nakatas flavour of touch, something punishing. Nakatas likes to punish you with his bosses, and I love him for that. And I've had this weird feeling, could we simply be seeing a giant Deinonychus or something of that ilk? I get the feeling that might be the case, maybe? Like it's just a massive Deinonychus that like jumps around, pounces around, clings from wall to wall, and then claws your face off. I don't know, I get a feeling it could be that. I could be completely wrong and way off the mark, but you know what? I'd love to hear what you think is going to be the boss. So you know what to do, comment below and all that jazz, and we'll see if any of our guesses are right. And don't panic too much. I noticed Jeremy missed off one particular creature, which is of course the Mega Raptor. That's meant to be coming with Valguero as well at the end of the month, and as far as we know that still is. I'm sure it's just something that he missed, and it's like half a month away. Don't forget there's going to be a community creature submission for Gen Part 1 at some point soon. Wildcard kind of seized it once again to start thinking about what creature that's going to be and make sure it's a real world or extinct or prehistoric creature, but no more further details offered on that. And once again, some double XP rates across the official network. Go wild with that, enjoy. I'll be joining you after Monarchy finishes this weekend. The finale is on Sunday tomorrow, so make sure to come and watch the live if you want to. This is going to be perhaps the most epic, unique ending you've ever seen in anything in ARK. That's anything that's been played. That was terrible word English. Can I speak it? Yes, I can. I can say at least this. Damn it! Until the next one, my name's Raasclark. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, peace out.